the end of the season, like I told you, I ended up getting shot.
Can I get looped in on?
Yeah, for
I
sure.
feel like every warm-ups episode, there's like a mic drop. Like Chad, Chad was like, I almost died.
Came in 7 I step in the room, I'm an elephant. Run up a bag, I ran up a bag. I gotta go count on some presidents. I'm back out the dirt, the sediment. Back with a baddie, she elegant. I'm back from the dead, I'm back from the dead. Bitch, they call me the Revenant. Ah!
What's up, guys? MTV Cribs, you're here with Madre Harper, Carolina Panthers DB. Welcome to the big house. Bruh.
Don't make a peep. Lord knows your pocket's lower than the Challenger deep. I'm stressing until I'm reckless and I'm losing my sleep. So I'm hurting all of these problems while y'all counting your sheep. Now I'm sifting a heap of clothes to see what to keep and what to sell or return if I can find a receipt. Anything to find some means of income. Shift the paradigm and start swinging the pendulum. I felt
so warm-ups, Zay.
Back again.
And I'm excited about the show. We went on a little road trip to get here. And yeah, let's just do a quick recap. So warm-ups, we sit down and we talk with professional athletes who are new founders, athletes with an idea. We have athletes that are vets in a specific industry and are crushing it in business. And then sometimes we'll sit down with business experts along with athletes, really just to talk shop about whatever field they're interested in. And this episode, I'm excited because we got currently Charlotte Panthers, Madre Harper. So, Madre, if you don't mind, give us a little bit of background on yourself so that way we can understand, where you come from and what you've been up to.
So I'm from Texas, the big Texas. I'm from Texas, man. Everybody know, all Texas people love Texas. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. But I'm from Arlington, Texas. Come from the suburbs, Arlington, 2-parent household. Pretty much been playing football my whole life. It's been a dream. It's been something that me, my dad, my parents have been curating and working and just really grinding for me. I was the kid that wasn't really going to birthday parties or sleepovers and waking up on the weekend Saturday morning and
6 a.m.
running hills, doing all. I was one of them kids like doing that, running hills by my neighborhood, running stadiums and just really grinding for this. And obviously going to college, I went to Oklahoma State first. Things didn't work out there. Went to Southern Illinois, still made it to the league despite, and we'll probably get into that despite all the things I had to overcome. But I'm truly blessed just to be here and we still be in this moment and just fighting. And all my years of just fighting for this goal and this dream. And obviously, we're going to talk about a little bit about business and just trying to hold on to it, keep it, and obviously just enjoy it. Because I feel like the biggest thing is in the league, everybody's always trying to chase a bag or, chase a bigger check or worry about what everybody else got or worry about buying stuff. But to me, I've gotten to the point where I'm just really thankful for just being here and just really enjoying the moment. And the rest will come because I know I'm putting the work in.
Who'd you play with at Oklahoma State? Who was there while you were there that's currently in the league?
That's still in the league? Mason Rudolph, James Washington, Rodarius, Devin, AJ Green plays for the Browns. Devin's at the Cowboys. Rodarius at the Giants. Mason's still at the Steelers. James Washington's at the Cowboys. And
so you
then
guys had a pretty
yeah, we had some dudes for sure. And we had a couple transfers that's in the league and stuff like that. So Oklahoma State put that. And then what? I'm tripping. Chuba Hubbard here. I play with him too. Yeah, I'm tripping. I don't know.
Because I think Emmanuel Ogba.
Yeah, Emmanuel Ogba.
Vincent Taylor.
Yeah, he just got hurt. Shout out to my dog. He just prays for him. Vincent Taylor. Yeah. So I'm tripping on I forget my dogs.
A lot of guys. Man.
Yeah.
Okay. And so that's where you started.
Oh yeah, and my dog. That's big bro Trey Flowers. He used to be at the Seahawks nights at the Bengals. That's big bro right there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You
That's 2016, 17?
My class, 2016 class. So Trey, Vincent, E-Man, Mason, all they're a little older than me.
Gotcha.
Out of my class, so it's me, AJ, Rodarius, Justice Hill. He's at the Ravens. We're actually finna play him. Tevin went second round to the Bears out of my class. Pretty much a lot of our dudes from my class made it to the league. So, which is a dope class, yeah.
Yeah.
And so as far as Oklahoma State goes, you started there.
Yeah.
That was right out of high school.
Right out of high school. So I came out of high school, I was a 3-star. I had 40 offers. Was doing good. Committed there early. Graduated high school early. So I graduated in the fall.
Yeah.
And then went to college in the spring. So I didn't go to my senior prom, none of that. I wasn't really worried about none of that.
That lets me know how focused on ball you were.
Yeah,
It's only kids that are focused on ball say, hey, I'm missing prom.
I took summer school in high school. I took summer school in high school, and I took dual credit classes in order to graduate early. And then I came into college like as a sophomore, credits wise.
Got you.
Because I got all that basic stuff out the way. But I really wanted to play ball. I wanted to go there early because I needed to lift weights, need to get conditioned just so I could try to play. And I played as a true freshman.
Right.
So ended up working out. It's just some things happening there that just partly my attitude, my outlook on things, and then some stuff with them, it just didn't really work out. So I ended up leaving, really.
Yeah.
So
why did you choose? So you started in Arlington. What, like, out of your high school, where did other people, like your classmates, try to, like, usually there's like 2 or 3 colleges that like get the vast majority of the college or the high school class, right?
So for us in Arlington, it wasn't a lot of people, at least from my school, going D1. So like, obviously, we know we have people like Myles Garrett to look up to who did it before us. And then obviously before him, it necessarily would be Fred Jackson, was a running back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he went to Lamar. But other than that, it really wasn't too many people that I knew personally that was really like going crazy in Arlington and going D1, especially like at our school. So my class was me, Shane Buechele, Chris Owens, and Kofi Boateng. We were kind of like the first people to really like get a lot of offers and get a lot of like Power 5 offers.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, people in the city didn't like that. You know, some people thought, we were overrated because, you know, Lamar, we would win like first round, second round of the playoffs. We didn't really go too far, but there really was no particular school. Our goal was just, I didn't want to go to a JUCO, and I didn't want to be that guy but so many before me went to college, went to like a JUCO or, like a smaller D2 or D3 or something like that, fizzled out and came back in a year.
Right.
I refused. And I knew I wanted to go D1 because I felt like that would give me the best possible shot to make it to the league.
Yeah.
But obviously knowing what I know now, you can still make it from anywhere.
Right.
But still, I would still tell kids to go Power 5 just for lifestyle, living, gear, experience. Like, I would never tell nobody not to go to a Power 5.
Who was that top? Like, who was your choices coming out of high school?
So Oklahoma State, OU, I had Stanford.
Yeah.
That's
your top 3?
Yeah, for me. Yeah, either Stanford, OU, or Oklahoma State.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Like, why OK State?
One, the distance really didn't matter to me, but it is like 4 hours from home. Okay. But that didn't really matter too much for me. My parents wanted me to go anywhere. 2, I really like the campus. Like, the campus is beautiful. I don't know if you've ever seen a picture of Oklahoma State's campus, but it really is super nice. The people are super nice. And it just felt like more like a family. OU is more of like, it's OU, so you should come here.
Yeah. OU's in Norman.
Yes.
And Oklahoma State's in
Stillwater.
Yeah.
And then Stanford, I don't know. It was really far to go to California. I'd never really been out to Cali, so I didn't really know too much about it. And then everybody says it's more of like an academic before football, which I am a smart kid. It's not that I couldn't have done the work, but I just didn't know if that would be, I don't know if I would be focusing more on school than football. And I wanted a good balance. So I know the classes are harder, but obviously a Stanford degree is a Stanford degree. You know, you can use that, anywhere. And I just like the program. I like the dudes that went there. A lot of people from Texas. It just kind of fit me.
Yeah.
So it just kind of fell together like that.
Dope.
So then you end up transferring.
Yeah. So technically, well, I'll be honest with you. I'll be transparent. I ended up getting kicked off the team for getting in a fight in practice. So I got into a fight in practice, little altercation. You know, things happen.
Yeah. It's
so end up waking up the next day, end up locker cleared out, end up getting kicked off the team. But like I said, that's on me because you should never let another man, control your emotions. So obviously I didn't have to get upset. I could have walked away, whatever it may be. It was probably something stupid. But obviously the way they took it, which is fine. They had to make a decision, obviously, for their coach and for their team. And I guess I didn't fit that. And obviously it was heartbreaking. I was depressed, stopped going to class,
This was in the spring?
This was my sophomore year. This was the third game of the season, my sophomore year.
During the year?
During the year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, during the year, my third game of the season. So
at this point, you were playing more.
Yeah, I was playing, yeah. I was starting, all that. Got kicked off the team.
Wow.
So I was
then you got to deal with the backlash of just even just local news or
talking about I'm suspended. I got kicked off the team. People are asking what's going on. People in my city are telling my parents Herman Dre quit football and just all type of crazy stuff that just wasn't true. And nobody really knows the real except for the people that were there about what was going on or stuff that was going on. It was something stupid. I think it was a little bit of an extreme, but at the end of the day, I'm not mad at it because you have to control yourself and you need to control your temper. Right. So that taught me a lot. So I have no beef with them or nothing like that. They did do what they need to do. But obviously it's really depressing for me because ball is what I love, is what I want to do. And I take my parents' name really serious. So like that's shame on my family for me not handling my business like I was supposed to. And obviously I stopped going to class. I just
you were still enrolled.
Still enrolled.
Gotcha.
They're still paying me, my little stipend check every month. I'm still going to class. Still everything was fine. They moved me out of we had to stay in these like football apartments, like most schools.
Yeah.
They moved me out of the football apartments and put me in the dorms with just regular kids, which is depressing to me because now I'm away for all the players, all my friends I hung out with a lot. And I had a little small room and stuff, and I just didn't go to class. I stayed in my room all day. I watched The Office, and I failed all my finals.
Wow.
Failed all of them. I didn't go to class. I was making D's. My mom was calling me. I just wasn't hearing it. And then I was working out at a little gym or whatever. My dad was paying for me to go to this gym with this trainer and still work out, still keep my body in shape. Because back then, the portal was different than it is now.
Yeah.
So back then, they could block you from going to certain schools and all stuff like that. So I really just didn't have no
That's
direction.
My next question.
Yeah.
So you got kicked out.
Yep. Off the team, not the school, off the team.
Kicked off the team.
Off the team.
So your mind now, okay, it's time to transfer to it.
Yeah, I need to transfer.
Looking for, and how was that? Was it, was teams kind of hesitant?
I didn't know nothing about transferring, to be honest with you. I really should have promoted my transferring more, but I don't know, it really didn't. When I was in high school, the offers just came to us.
So you're kind of waiting.
Yeah, just I didn't know what to do. And then, you get on Twitter and, you hit up old coaches I'm transferring. But I thought I was trying to go back home. So I was trying to get into SMU or go to Arkansas because I knew Chad Morris, the coach who offered me SMU, ended up going to Arkansas. So I was trying to line that up because it was a person that I knew liked me and stuff like that. And then, going towards, the end of, the end of the season, like I told you, I ended up getting shot. So then I end up just not having nothing.
Wow.
So yeah.
Can I get looped in on?
Yeah, for
I
sure.
feel like every warm-ups episode, there's a mic drop. Chad, Chad was I almost died.
So really, obviously I was depressed, hella stuff. So I was going to meet up with some friends in Oklahoma City, which is 30 minutes away. So I just drove my car out there, ended up stopping at this apartment complex, and then some dudes kind of just came out of nowhere. I had a nice car. I had a Scat Pack in college, so if anybody knows what that is, it's a nice little Charger, even though it's nothing crazy. But But I did have a Scat Pack in college, so which is a little different. Some dudes came out of nowhere, tried to rob me. Obviously, I fought them off. Another dude came out, started shooting, hit me in my knee. Wow. Got up out of there. Obviously, called the cops, ambulance, and all that good stuff. But obviously, that killed any transferring that was going to happen because,
they saw it as extra baggage now.
Yeah, for sure. And then obviously, I didn't know if I was going to be able to run anymore.
Oh, wow.
It went right through my knee. So you don't know. Obviously, I had surgery and everything like that. And obviously now nobody can tell. But you just didn't know at the time. And obviously, I didn't know if I was going to play ball anymore. I didn't know it was going to happen. And that's when I reached out to Southern Illinois because one of my best friends from high school went there. And at first, they were not going to give me a scholarship. So I was just going to sell my car and just walk on. And my parents were going to pay. And we're just going to figure it out. Take out student loans, just figure it out. Because I wanted to play ball. I was going to walk on and figure it out. So ended up giving me my scholarship.
And this was in the spring?
In the spring of, so I got shot 2017. This is in the spring of 2018.
Okay.
So going into my junior year. So I ended up going to SIU, which I, obviously thanked them for the blessing of taking me and providing me with a scholarship. So that's a huge blessing. Shout out to them, Coach Hill and all of them. And I really appreciate that because they took a chance on me and they didn't have to. Even though, what happened wasn't my fault and that can happen to anybody. We all know people, wrong place, wrong time.
Right.
And it was very unfortunate, but I had to get there and grind it out. I couldn't play all, no spring ball, none of that. Grinded it out. Got my knee back enough where, I could play that. I played that season.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I got 6 months of rehab. I'm talking about grinding hard, doing whatever I could. My parents using their benefits. I'm so glad my dad has insurance. Yeah. Grinded out and still played that season. I was playing probably 112 snaps a game. I started all special teams, played corner, did everything I could. My knee was swollen every game. I was hurting, taking Advil all the time, just doing what I could.
Yeah.
And obviously Oklahoma State, SIU are two different places. It wasn't a bad school, none by at least, but we didn't have as much resources.
It was a step down.
It was a step down, as far as like Oklahoma State, they only provided us breakfast and stuff. So after that, I was kind of on my own. So, I had to, try to figure out what I'm going to eat at night, what I'm going to do here, what I'm going to do there. Do I need to get a job? And that's where I started in college. I was a janitor in college. I needed money.
While you were playing?
Yeah. So I was a janitor in the summer, trying to make some extra money. I worked at Big Lots. I did whatever it could to hustle and make some money.
Right.
Because I needed to pay my bills. We were probably getting $750, $800 a month. My rent was $600. So, after that, I wasn't really left with much. So I just had to grind it out. But that's part of my story. That's what happened to me. And I don't take it back for nothing. It made me really appreciate $1. Appreciate that I really wanted to play football. And the fact that I still made it here is a true testament to God that I'm supposed to be here and I'm supposed to play. Because it didn't have to go like that. It could have went any other way.
Did you have a job in high school?
I worked at Six Flags.
Nice.
Yeah, so I sold
I
tickets.
love Six Flags.
Hot, people yelling at me because the ticket price is too high, and then like I control the tickets. Like I don't nothing to do with me. I'm sorry, I just spent $300 to get into the park. Like I don't know what to do, but yeah. So yeah, I've worked my whole life. My parents are firm believers on that. My mom, and my dad always tell me they're not going to fund my lifestyle, so you got to work no matter what. Yeah, you got to work.
So what about like life outside of ball? So I feel like your story, like you said, is a true testament to your work ethic. Like God does a lot of it, but you gotta execute, right?
Right.
So what does life outside of ball look like for you? And I'm interested in like, I guess twofold. One, from like the personal lens, like I just want to know like what you do. Do you like to cook? Like what are some of your passions? And then on the other side is like more professionally, like do you spend time in the business space and how, what does that look like for you?
Well, I guess in college, I was really depressed, obviously being, I got shot. I'm out of school. It's cold. Obviously, I wanted to be at a big school. I thought pretty much like my life career was over in a sense.
Yeah.
So I really didn't do too much in college per se. Like I stayed up really late all the time. Like I still stay up late now. I still text Isaiah late at night because I don't know. I just told myself, I prayed to God every day that if he makes it out, if he, allows me to make it through this, these are the things that I'm going to do. I'm going to give my parents money. I'm going to buy this. I'm going to get that. I'm going to try to set up this. And I just did a lot of time learning and plotting and YouTube University and reading and just trying to understand what I can do besides ball. And I love ball, but I know I need to create some type of identity outside of ball. Because a lot of athletes, don't make it to the league or only play 1 or 2 years, whatever it may be, and they kind of lose themselves for a little bit. Right. And I was already losing myself because I really thought, me going to SIU, like, I don't know if I'm going to league. I know I'm good enough to go, but just with everything that was going on, am I going to go? So, I play video games. I like to, I really like to eat. I like food. I like to go try new spots. I'm a very active person, hiking. I'm very outgoing, like to really pretty much do anything. On the business side, that's where I really started getting into real estate because I was trying to really figure out what could still provide me the same lifestyle kind of like what ball did. And I knew that real estate was a good thing for my legacy, something that I could pass down. And I didn't really have an idea per se of like, some people like want to create a gym or some people want to sell, protein powder, whatever it may be. That really wasn't never my thing. I knew that I wanted something I could be hands-on, but something I also could do and not really have to think about, like mailbox money.
Right.
I could just choose my time and how I want to work.
Like Drake said, how can I address you if you don't own property?
You don't own property, for real. So it's like, and all the wealthy people, and I like to study wealthy people or successful people, I should say, would end up being wealthy. Because to me, what are some of the habits? What are the things that they've done? What do they own? And all the people that I study, from Warren Buffett's to just self-made Jeff Bezos and everybody like that, they all own property. They all got up early. They all read. They all had a certain level of discipline that was needed in order to achieve this. And I knew that if I had the same discipline for football, I know I can apply it in business.
That's a great point. Like most athletes see business as this daunting thing. But like the characteristics of entrepreneurs, investors are the same characteristics that athletes have, so that transition is a lot easier and palatable than they really think. You know what I mean? So, it's great that you figured that out early. Yeah. Because most kind of wait until.
Just wait. And obviously, like I'm still learning and I'm still trying to grasp things. Like I told you, I'm still willing to learn and trying to grasp things. It's just, I know that I need to do something. Yeah. I know this ball won't last forever and I want to play as long as I can. I love playing football. I don't know what I'd do without it, but I know that obviously I need to have something else going on. And obviously, I'd love to model and be in front of the camera and TV shows or whatever comes in my way. I'm not really much of a person to turn anything down. Right. Even like doing what we're doing here, like I love stuff like this. And I feel like that personality can just carry over into anything. But I know I need to like pick a space and just attack it.
So like you would go to Casting Couch and like you do anything?
They don't know what that is.
Let's go back to real estate because that's something I love. As you know,
for sure.
As Alex know.
Yeah.
So what was your first experience in real estate?
So I want to say my first experience. So one of my best friends, probably gonna be the best man at my wedding. His name's Byron Alley. Mm-hmm. His dad, self-made, went to University of Arkansas, African-American man with his own architecture firm, construction, all that. I mean, I'm talking about doing big projects, like doing stadiums and doing big deals. And that's when I first seen like a real successful, Black man in front of my eyes that's like out here really getting to it. Right. And so with Byron, obviously working for his dad growing up and stuff like that, me able sometimes to be a part of like, yeah, my dad's doing this project, or he built this, or this team did that, or his company did this, Conroe Realty, and just seeing that. That's kind of where I first started like seeing that real estate space and seeing like, even like, so we were in high school, his dad owned the hotel, he owned the Hilton. Wow. When we were in high school. So like, I was like, I thought that was crazy. Like he owns
how do you own a hotel?
How he owns a hotel. Yeah. And I'm like, that's crazy. Like the capital, to have the relationships. So just seeing him kind of really built that for me. And then after that, like I told you, like I have a cousin in Florida, my cousin Joe, he has like 120 properties in Florida, seeing people like that. And I just started seeing people and I'm like, okay, you know what? I can really do this. And I started just doing a lot of research. Like, okay, maybe, I don't got to have $1 million to start real estate. I don't have to have this, and that. I can really start getting it with just, 20,000, 15,000 if you find the right deal.
Right.
And I just needed the team and the right know-how. Like I told you, like how Mike linked us up. I just didn't really know where to start. Lenders, it's a lot of like extra steps that people always say in the league, like, oh, I hope you're investing your money. I hope you're investing your money. And I'd be like, invest in what? Well, you should go get some stocks. I don't know how to trade stocks. Are you going to teach me how to trade stocks? Like people are quick to say invest, but don't teach us the step by step.
What does investing really
mean? What is investing? Because just like people say, we should go buy property. People go broke in real estate every day.
Yeah.
People go broke dealing stocks every day. People go broke day trading every day. Like not everybody's winning if you don't have the right plan.
And I feel like you have no rapport with a lot of the people that are being put in front of you, right. Like to say like, oh, we hope all these athletes invest in their money. And it's like, great, that's good material to read on the front of a brochure.
Right.
But what does that actually mean? Like, how do we build a relationship? And it can't just be the like wine and dine and like put on your, your fake face for a night. Right. And then we go into signing checks tomorrow. Like,
yeah. And obviously like, there's a place for stocks. There's a place for, real estate. There's a place for each avenue.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, just the whole thought of like somebody telling me to go buy some stocks that you like, okay, but how does that in turn build my legacy?
Right.
I just don't know. I'm not saying it can't do it. I just don't know. Like, where do you learn? Oh, you can just Google it. Well, I don't know. Is that the best use of my money to go Google something and maybe lose? See, I'm really paranoid. I don't want to go back broke. I don't want to be a janitor again. I don't want to have to live like that. So to me, without somebody kind of taking me through the steps, somebody that I trust, I couldn't just go buy whatever and just feel comfortable that it's gonna work.
Yeah.
It just didn't work for me.
No, I love that. So you right now you actually are in the real estate game.
Yes, because I got 2 Airbnbs and obviously we're looking for a property, my first like real property now. And so I'm trying to get started from 1 to 100.
Is the Airbnb your property or are you arbitrage?
I'm arbitrage.
Break that down. Or you guys can both tag team that. Like break down what arbitrage means, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that don't understand what that is.
Right.
Or like the fact that you can't necessarily do it on any lease.
This is true.
Stuff like that.
So I guess I can give my experience of arbitrage. So arbitrage is non-traditionally acquiring a property. So most people do it through a lease and then sublease it out via short-term rental or another long-term tenant. Like Madre was saying, it's a low barrier to entry. You don't have to go out and acquire a loan to get this property. It's just really getting a lease. Some apartment buildings allow it, some don't.
Or houses, I'm assuming.
Some landlords allow it, some don't. But it's a great way to produce income to be able to go out and do more stuff in the real estate space, because I guess that's the one drawback from arbitrage is you don't get the real value of owning real estate, and that's the appreciation.
So do you have to draw up your own contract, like you're the landlord for the person? Okay.
Yep.
It's your terms, which I'm assuming you just kind of mirror most of what's in the original contract, because those are the like bottom line rules. But on top of that, you're just basically taking money off. So if it's $1,000 lease, which is rare, you charge $1,500 for it. You're taking $500
at the simplest form, And I mean, most people are hacking it even more and taking that lease and going out and turn it into a short-term rental. So Airbnb, VRBO, utilizing platforms like that to, really increase how much the type of revenue. Yeah.
And obviously, Airbnb gives you protection, like if people cancel, people smoke in your Airbnb, obviously you can charge them. I'm sure a lot of people have used Airbnb. It's a big platform. And then for me, it was easy because all I need to do is get furniture, get Wi-Fi, do the utilities and everything. And you can start listing same day, as long as you get all that set up with professional pictures and stuff like that. And obviously, it's little tips and stuff to make your Airbnb space look more appealing. But at that, you just get it going.
This is a sidebar. So I utilize Airbnb for some of my properties.
Mm-hmm.
When I first did it, it was kind of weird to me that Airbnb didn't do like checks to see if you actually own the property. That was super weird to me. I'm like, so I'm good. Like I put the property on there. They didn't check and see if I own.
They're getting money.
They don't care.
They get their fees and that's it.
And that's why there's a lot of scammers out here on Airbnb because it's so easy to just put a property out there.
How do you solve? Can that be solved?
I mean, without physically, going to see the property.
I mean, we all have credit cards. I mean, if it's a bad thing, I just, call
it. I mean, Airbnb has
and
like
good customer service.
Yeah, good customer service. You'll get refunded.
Yeah, they'll refund you.
Yeah, I mean, it's personally never happened to me, but I know I've seen situations where it has happened where it wasn't an actual property.
Yeah, you just you see these I feel like I had to do a background check to drive a bird or a scooter around the city. So the fact that there's not a couple more.
They check license, your
you
your
have
ID.
a verified profile. So your license, your date of birth and stuff like that. But I mean, we all know that that's not really hard stuff to get or create.
Yeah.
So
part of WARMUPS is the story, the journey, and the show. The main goal of WARMUPS is showing other athletes in business or athletes in general that it's not that scary entering in the business world, right? There's people literally sitting next to you in the locker room when these conversations might not come up as readily there, but there's people right next to you that can either support you or are doing it and are just like you and
it can help. You just got to find the right team. I'm big on find the right team. And I've lost money in a previous podcast I've talked about me having a property and I lost money. So I put the money in escrow, $5,000. My other partner, even though I guess the lender said that we were good on the loan, whatever, but I guess it came back there. I guess it's multiple checks or I guess how that goes with the lender. I guess you could speak more on that, but check this credit again. I guess they weren't really feeling his credit score, which was a little lower because of previous things that happened. It wasn't nothing bad, but it just needed to be a little higher. So they ended up denying us, but we already put the money in for the escrow. Obviously we lost it. So we lost that $5,000 just like that. Lost the property, lost all of that. And obviously that was a tough lesson. I wasn't really upset.
Yeah.
But it was another lesson okay, I need to make sure my credit's always strong. We need to make sure we double check, triple check, make sure everything's good. And how you're talking about due diligence, what's in the contract. Maybe we should have gave ourselves more days to get that process kind of going so we didn't lose out on that money. All that different type of stuff. But it taught me a good lesson and everything's not going to be easy. Even on Airbnb, when I first started, I wasn't making no money really because, I was a fresh Airbnb. I wasn't on the main page. I wasn't a super host. So it just took some time to process. You had to put a little money into it.
Yeah.
First thing and foremost, credit. Make sure your credit score is strong. My credit score is a 760. Make sure your credit score is strong because in order to get approved for these loans, in order to be serious when it comes to lenders, even getting approved from apartment complexes, people don't know when you apply for an apartment complex or a rental place, even if I'm a landlord, I can submit your information to these a landlord thing and I can check your credit, I can check everything. So if your credit's not strong, a lot of people are not going to approve you. Right. That's first and foremost. Two, having a plan and executing it, saying what area would you like to do in? What's your budget? How are you going to fund it? Are you going to put it on a credit card? Do you have a business account? You have a business credit card? And I didn't have all that stuff when I first started. I do now, but I put it on my personal credit card. Okay, but what's my plan that if this isn't working out, do I still have other income to supplement this? Mm-hmm. And that's kind of my first steps that I always tell people to kind of figure out and just do some research. Would you like it to be close to home? Would you like it to be far away? And I was never scared about going out of state. But for first time people, I would definitely recommend somewhere that obviously you can drive to, you can check up on it. And so credit, making sure your credit's right, having some reserve funds, having a plan about how you want to decorate it, your budget, because budget is key. You're not going to make any money if you don't have budget. You don't have a budget. Because people say, I'm just going to go and wing it and buy whatever. And then you just spent way over what you were supposed to.
Right.
So, because, you ain't got to get the best silverware. the craziest couch, because you're not living there.
Right.
So you're trying to get stuff that is cheap in price, but still good quality.
Right.
And that's where people like try to decorate Airbnbs like they're living there. And I keep trying to tell people like you're not living. It needs to be nice, but you don't have to buy a $8,000, $10,000 couch.
Yeah.
Like
you got to understand. You got to understand your price point.
Yeah,
I think that's super important. So you got to know. I mean, there's tiers. There's the sub $100 a night. There's the 100 to 400. Then there's the 500 to 1,000 type of places. So you got to furnish it based off of where you fall at within those different tiers. I think furniture is a place you don't sacrifice. I mean, you do want to get the best bang for your buck 100%. But depending on where you are on that spectrum, because if you buy cheap stuff, it's going to do what cheap stuff do. It's going to break. You got to replace it. So being able to, really
have a balance.
Yeah, it's a balance. It's a balance. Don't go crazy,
No need.
But definitely being able to.
And after that, is it just like as easy as going on Airbnb, finding a spot that you think makes like strategic sense?
So there's websites and stuff like it was like AirDNA or Airbnb.
That's AirDNA.
AirDNA, where you can find the average rental income, and there's obviously Airbnb websites that show you like, okay, these areas are high in Airbnb, and obviously you can just go on Airbnb like I do a lot and just see what are other people pricing their Airbnbs at in the area, in that specific area that you would looking to do it at, and then looking at, okay, do I need to do keyless entry? Am I gonna be able to drop off the keys? Like different steps.
There's a lot of
other steps, little small things that you have to go through to kind of see. Because you could go get a property, but a lot of these, like say you get a nicer apartment complex, let's say it's $2,000 a month. Well, a lot of these nicer luxury apartment complexes are gonna have concierges. Yeah. They're not gonna allow things like that, like you said. Even if you do come on I have an LLC, I want to do corporate leasing. A lot of people are like, no, we want standard leases, standard things. So you have to look at things like that also. Like, is this area even a good area to do it? How am I gonna get the tenants in or the guests, whatever you want to call them, get them in, get them out? Who's going to clean, who's going to come by, who's going to check on things, if things break, there's a couple steps that you have to do. But really, like you said, you get the place, you find it's going to make money, you get the lease, you put the furniture in there, you get a photographer to take professional photos. So it looks its best, it looks open, the lighting's good. You don't want just bad photos, because we all pick things off of photos.
Right,
exactly.
And photos and reviews.
Yeah, photos and reviews, and then you list it.
Cool.
And obviously, you're going to share it to people. You're going to tell your friends about it. You're going to get somebody to go in there. And obviously, like when I got my Airbnb, I told my mom to go stay in it. I'll give her the money back and give me a review. To be honest, so I can get a review on there.
I like that.
And nothing. It's not against the rules. So.
Yeah, and you can like theme it out. I'm sure. So if you do something near the stadium, you have a signed jersey on the wall. Or
people do themes all the time. You just got to find your niche. Like things really do well, like in New York, Miami, places like that, because people are those traveling there. They're looking for those type of like cool things like that. So. You never know.
Something people don't think about? Copywriting is so important when you're listening to Airbnb. You got to write. It has to be engaging. People got to want, when they're reading, they got to feel a certain way. They got to want to stay there. Mm-hmm. So that's an underrated thing that I had to learn early on in the Airbnb game is, how do I write this description of this place to make it sound so appealing that even the heading, the heading has to be a certain way, so that people
cozy 1 bedroom next to et cetera.
Walk,
you know what I'm saying? Like, and then like like the people are only looking at like the first couple photos. They want to see, is there a couch? Are there TVs in the bedroom? What is it next to? What is it by? Does it have a pool?
You know what I hate? I hate when people like they have 30 photos, but you don't know what the outside looks like until photo 29. Because they know it's not as appealing. I mean, it's a smart move.
Because I've got an Airbnb before in the city in Dallas, and I pulled up, and I ain't gonna lie, the outside looked nothing like what it was on the photos. I'm talking about there was homeless people outside, and I didn't feel comfortable. That's why I didn't stay there. I got my money back.
Yeah, you can't bait and switch.
But people do that.
That's crazy.
And Airbnb has rules. So like, if you get like a certain amount of like negative reviews,
they'll kick you
off the platform.
So
which is obviously keeping people on their game too, not just allowing people just to go out there and finesse everybody. Like, you may put up nice photos, whatever it may be, and they get there. A lot of people, bad reviews, you'll just get kicked off.
Shoot. Okay. I mean, yeah, and I would imagine you can like negotiate with like apartment complexes. Like I feel like I've seen people.
Yeah, so I've seen people in my space, like they obviously get an LLC. They go to the apartment complex and say, hey, I would like to do corporate leasing. A lot of apartment complexes do corporate leasing, but I would like to also offer it through Airbnb, but it'll also be professionals. You'll tell them like some people do where we'll lock in, I guarantee you 2 years I'll be here. et cetera, this, et cetera, that, whatever it may be.
Sure.
So it just, like you said, it's all negotiation. People, some people do go to apartment complexes or landlords and say, hey, I guarantee that I'll be here for 2 years. I'm gonna use Airbnb, but this is going to my LLC. It's going to be professional. I'm going to monitor that we're going to have this type of people, stuff like that.
Okay. So I want to switch gears a little bit out of the real estate game.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, I guess I have a question first before we go there. Would you consider yourself entrepreneurial?
Yes.
Okay. Because I'm picking that up based off of...
I'm a hustler, so I don't know. That's why I say I'm a hustler. I've worked my whole life, found days to make money. I mean, I did music in college. I made my own music, threw my own parties at Oklahoma State and played my own music and made money off that. I sold t-shirts, did fashion, modeling. I mean, I've done a plethora of stuff to try to make
experience. Money. Yeah, I mean, you and I are on the same wavelength then. I ask that because I'm curious, like, outside of real estate, where do some of your interests lie? Or, and when I say interest, I don't mean necessarily like you're super versed on that field.
Right.
But like, and that's kind of why I asked the personal like interest question earlier, which is like, okay, if you love to cook, like there's opportunity there. So as far as like business beyond real estate, where do you dabble?
So like beyond real estate, see, I really want to get into movies and like TV. I just feel like I have a great personality. So I've also been looking at like, okay, maybe after football, maybe I need to do broadcasting. Maybe I need to do stuff like that. Like I just like being in front of the camera and just, connecting with people and just talking. So I know that that's a path that I want to pursue. And then other than like real estate and football, I mean, I really be at the crib chilling. Like I've been hanging out with my family, with my dog. Like,
what kind of dog do you have?
I have a blue nose pit bull. His name's Quavo. You know what I'm saying?
You'll send us a photo?
Yeah, I can send you a photo for sure.
We'll throw them on.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, at
Call
the
of
crib,
Duty?
Yeah, I played games. I played Call of Duty. So I mean, I don't feel like I do anything crazy. I just be trying to do it all. Like I told Isaiah, like I want it all. I know people be like, "What? Yeah, I want it all." Like,
so you're gonna hop on that new Warzone?
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. So, and I just got God of War too, so I'm playing that.
Okay, so you're on PlayStation.
Yeah, I'm on PlayStation.
All right, I'll steal your PS tag or whatever they're called.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to carry most of the guys I'm with in Call of Duty, so hopefully.
Nice. Okay, I'm gonna hold my own. I'm gonna win my one-on-ones.
Yeah, I have this running joke with Taco that he's trash.
Yeah.
But it's just not a joke.
Some people just play for casual fun. Nothing wrong. But this is a skill. And I've seen pro gamers hung out with them and it's they put in hours. Talking about like 15-hour days. Imagine being on the screen for 15 hours. I couldn't.
There's this dude, I don't know if I say his name right. Last time I checked, he was with the Rams. His name's Blake Countess. And he played at Michigan with Taco. And I got in one of his lobbies with Taco. He's nice.
He's nice.
I'm like, that's why I keep playing with Taco.
That's what you need. Yeah.
Okay, so I want to actually double back to something else because I feel like we could have a whole separate conversation on some of these things outside of real estate that we should tap into. And we probably will end up doing another
I just need the
episode.
right people to direct me in the right path. Like people are like, oh, you in the league, you should have all these connections. But I'm like, some companies only want people with 10,000 followers and I don't have that many followers. And they want people plugged with this and that. So I'm just trying to navigate my way with content and meeting the right people and shaking hands. We all know that network and meeting the right people, getting in the right spaces. Because all it takes is me doing one photo shoot, boom, now I can do a model gig, or getting on one show, one commercial, whatever it may be. Now I have that other avenue that I want to get into.
And that's why, or you're like leading into my point perfectly. I want to know a little bit more about your team. So I'm sure you have a team in real estate, but like who's your like core circle of business enthused homies, supporters, mentors? Like what does your team look like? Because you mentioned earlier in our chat, like that's like one of the most important things.
So how the start of this dream was me and Byron, like I said, my best friend, because Byron, he's a real estate agent, works at his dad's company, started a company. I mean, he's doing it all. He's one of the most hardest working people like I've ever met. Like he's doing it all. Like he's hustling. I'm talking about he's doing restoration projects. He's being a general contractor on stuff. Like he's doing a lot and still going to school, trying to get his MBA and get his master's. He graduates in December.
Oh, wow.
So like he's a big part of my team where, I mean, he'll do all the sweat equity. I mean, I'm talking about he's done everything from setting up my LLC to doing all this and that. And then obviously now I have Mike, which is another dude that Mike has been able, who's connected me with Isaiah. That's how we got connected. He's able to just put me in different spaces, anything I want to be in, whether it's community events, volunteers. I'm big on trying to give back. Like I said, before we kind of got on camera, like volunteering, helping the kids out, because I feel like, man, I've been blessed in my life and I owe it to give it back to somebody else. And then connecting me with Isaiah, because I feel like now, like, okay, now Isaiah's kind of part of my team now, which he's helping me get this duplex, whether it's a quadplex, sixplex, whatever we end up getting, whatever the right deal is. So now he's here. And then obviously, you have my agent, you have my parents, then you have like my big bro, my mentor. His name's Mike Hawkins. He played like 7 years in the league. He's been training me since 8th grade. Never charged me a dime, none of that.
Local to where you're from?
Yeah, from he lives in Allen, and never charged me a dime, none of that. He just really like my big brother. He just put me on game. Yeah. And he's the one who taught me how to be a pro before I even got to the league. Like how to move, how to operate, how you handle yourself, how you watch tape, how you work out. And without him, I probably wouldn't even have made it this far.
And that literally can exist in business.
Facts.
That's literally what I do for a living. It's just like, I've been there, done that. I feel like I'm going to end up saying this on every episode. My life's mission is to, like, I went to school for biology pre-medicine. So
Smart, man.
Being an entrepreneur was not the plan.
Right.
And to be jumping into cold water, doing something like learning a new field, figuring it out in the trenches. It took me 6+ years to get to this point, and it doesn't need to take that long for people.
Right.
So that blueprint, that mentor that you had, that you received, that's what I'm trying to share with everyone else. So that way we can trim off all the fat that exists in this, like, I guess, professional journey or this like leveling up.
Because Mike put me on so much game. I'm talking about all through. And obviously, I'm still young. I'm still doing my own thing. Like, he told me not to get upset in college and not to fight. But obviously, you don't all listen to what we're supposed to do. But like, I mean, what he's done for me in my life is inevitable, and not charging me a dime, none of that, because he just does it off the love. And we kind of
he believes in you.
Yeah, he does, for sure, 100%. He went to OU, got kicked out his freshman year for getting into a fight.
Oh, so you're just following his footsteps.
So it just like coincided. Like, he's from Dallas. He was homeless. Like, he was homeless in high school. Like, didn't have nowhere to live in high school. So him going to college is great. And then got kicked out, went to the arena football, and still got drafted out of arena football. Like, crazy story. And so that just resonated so me. Plays like 7 years.
7 years.
Yeah. Wow. So it's just like, it's crazy to me. Like, our story's kind of like, we just I don't know, it just coincides that much. Yeah. We're like, and he just really believes in me and stood me. And that's why, like, his kids, little Mike, he's the quarterback at Allen, 4-star, got offers. Then we got little Malik, he's next up. He plays corner, he next up. Then we got little Bella, she gonna play tennis and golf or whatever. Yeah. So I just do anything I can for anything he needs, wants me to help the kids out, shoot him a text, whatever. Like, that's my family. That's like my second family. That's like my big brother. So it's just, Mike Hawkins has done a lot for me. Like you said, in business, people had more of that. Yeah. That would be easier for people to go out and do stuff.
Let me ask you this. You may not know the answer to this question, but
wait, like, before you go there,
you know what I'm about to ask?
And go ahead.
So yeah,
I just made you lose your train of thought. I can see it on your face.
So yeah, I got it. I caught it back.
Okay.
So in business, you have Mike on the football side, and on the personal side as well. But like, what do you need in business to be able to be as confident as you are as a football player in business? Like, do you know the answer to that question?
To be as confident in business.
Yeah. Like, as far as a team, like, around you.
Oh, a team around me? Well, I feel like everybody, needs to have knowledge about what we're doing and what we're trying to go to and what we're trying to achieve. Yeah. Like, obviously, my financials aren't the same as a first rounder or somebody who's been in the league longer than me. That's one thing, understanding that these are the deals that we have to attain. Like, I feel like some people shoot too big, and that's really a thing. I know people saying, oh, you can never dream too big. Yes, you can. Yeah. Because, like, for us, I would love to have an apartment complex, but it doesn't make no sense trying to go get $1 million property or look at them, or even, let's test out the numbers for these. But why? Why are we wasting time testing out numbers for properties that we know I'm not going to be able to get? That's not even in my repertoire. Yeah. 2, having, like you said, like-minded people that are on the same goal. Like, all my friends are hustling. Like, Mike hustling. Like, he's taking care of his family. Obviously playing the league, so he did what he's supposed to do. But his journey there, crazy. You know what I'm saying? My parents hustling, still work. My dad still works 2 jobs. My mom works, like, hustling. Byron's still hustling. They have the knowledge where I can trust their opinion and come to them about things, and we can make educated decisions about what's best for my brand, where we're trying to go, and what we're trying to do, whether it's in sports, business, whatever it may be. And then obviously with Mike, having the connections, having the net worth, you know what I'm saying, the network to just go out and make things happen and connect people.
Yeah.
So I feel like with my circle, I need people that have the know-how, have the hustle, got the grit, and just really just kind of have to quit. Because we all know this life ain't easy. I'm talking about being an entrepreneur. There's going to be days you make no money, you make some money, you don't know what you're doing, you fail, you come back, but we can't have a bunch of quitters. And I like a lot of positive people around me that can keep me uplifted. So that's how I try to go with it.
So we want to try something new with you. We are dropping a new segment today. It's called Hot Takes and Hot Cakes.
Okay.
So Madison's going to help us out. She's going to bring you a nice stack of hot cakes.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask you 5 questions.
Okay.
Here's the rules. These hot takes, thank you, Madison. So these hot takes, you can agree or disagree with.
Okay.
And we asked, survey says, 100 people what their thoughts are on these questions. And if you get the same answer as the majority, you're good. You don't have to eat one of those. If you don't get that, you're digging it.
Okay.
Cool?
Cool.
So question number 1. Your answers are agree or disagree.
Mm-hmm.
You need a college degree to be successful.
Disagree.
Correct. You answered as the majority. So
It's not true.
You're safe.
I mean, I have a degree. I got a degree. I have my degree. Shout out to my mama. But I don't agree.
Number 2, NFL games are rigged.
Disagree.
Survey says,
I disagree.
Go ahead. Go dig right in.
Hey, bro, I disagree for sure.
That's the majority said games are rigged.
Yeah, they said true.
They're crazy. It's not, nah, man. That's a myth.
There's a lot of conspiracy theories.
That's a
out there.
conspiracy theory.
Whatever. You just
Vegas is rigged.
I mean, some people, I don't know why people just can't understand. Some people just play bad. Like it happens.
Yeah.
Like some people have off days. Like
The over-unders are definitely rigged.
All right. While you're digging in, I got another question.
Mm-hmm.
How's that taste, by the way?
It's a good chocolate. I got a little on me, but you know, I'm
It's
good.
all right. You're wearing black. We'll be good. So the next question, actually, as a DB, this will be interesting. Your answer will be interesting.
Talk to me.
Wide receiver 1, Justin Jefferson or Devontae Adams?
What I think the majority's gonna pick?
No.
Or my answer?
Well, one or the other.
Don't try to beat
part
the
of game.
majority. Don't just go with what you're thinking.
If I'm gonna say it right now, I'm going Justin Jefferson. He's going crazy right now. Devontae's still cold. Don't get it twisted, but I'm going Justin Jefferson right now.
All right, that's true.
And that's not recency bias. Right. Yeah.
All right, cool.
JJ.
This is an interesting one. This is what? Question number 4. Graveyards are a waste of space.
Disagree.
Ooh, that was an agree. You're still
Think it's a
eating.
waste of
Just
space?
keep eating.
Where are
Yeah.
you supposed to bury people? I think people deserve a proper burial if they want it.
Yeah, but I think it's more the fact that
It's
Like,
expensive for sure.
we need affordable housing, and we're using all this land. You know, you're going horizontal. Everything else in the world goes vertical.
Yeah, but I mean, well, my parents, passed away. Obviously, I don't want that to happen. But like my grandparents, like it's nice to be able to go to their gravesite, pay my respects, say my prayers, stuff like that. So
We're going way too deep into this, but
I don't know. But it's like some people. I feel what you're saying.
all right. Here's the last one, and I don't know if there's a great answer for it, but I can cook your 40 time.
You talking to me?
Yeah, yeah.
Disagree.
Dude, they call me Lightning McQueen in high school.
Okay, I beat you going backwards.
No, yeah, if I could beat you barefoot.
Nah,
You have to
you need
be
to look up.
pleased.
What's your 40? Let me look at mine. Google me.
I was like a 4.2.
Who?
What was your 40, Madre?
4.42.
This was
My pro day.
pro day.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, I'll definitely smoke you after those pancakes. You ain't gonna be able to move.
Okay, I'm one of them dudes, man. I grow like a little bad kid. I can run whenever. I'm fast whenever.
So you went from the country though. In the country, they chase rabbits.
My
and
daddy
stuff.
from Florida, so I got speed in my genetics.
You got it.
I went on the beach, race horses, all that. My daddy from Florida. My dad from St. Petersburg, Florida. We ain't going for none of that. I ran track, went to state 3 times in a row. I hold 3 school records in my high school.
So you're a speedster.
Yeah.
I got 2 more questions for you. you can stop eating the pancakes now unless you really want.
I think he likes them.
We'll have to do that more often. But and we'll rapid fire these so that way we can get out of here and wrap this one up. But like, first question is like, what do you need? Like, you individually, professionally, what is it that you need right now? And maybe this is like a moment of vulnerability for you. Not sure. If you're a more open individual, it shouldn't be, but like, none of us have everything figured out. So whether it's a graphic designer or another Airbnb listing, what do you need in your life right now?
What do I need more in my life right now? Well, on the mental side, I need to just relax myself. I feel like sometimes I put too much pressure on myself because I want to retire my family. I want to provide the certain lifestyle. I want to live a certain way. So one, I need to just have more patience and just kind of relax. But on the business side, I either want more capital or just need time. I feel like I'm at a good point, like where at least I'm thinking about it now instead of later. Yeah. And yeah, like my rookie year, I spent a lot of money, just like a lot of dudes do, blowing money, thinking I'm gonna play for it. Because I played my rookie year and stuff like that. Now I'm on P Squad, which I'm still thankful for the opportunity, but things switched. Like, the pay's different and stuff like that. And obviously, like, yeah, I spent a lot of money my rookie year. So it's like, yeah, I wish I had a little bit more capital to go maybe do some bigger things, but it's not always about the money. Right now, I just need to get a property. We're going to get a property by the end of this year. That's all I'm focused on this year. I'm going to use my money and get a property this year. Duplex, whatever it may be, because I stopped worrying about, I wish I could buy this or buy that, or wish I made more money. Well, what about the money? What am I doing with the money that I do make? And that's what somebody told me. Her name's Hillary. Shout out to Hillary. Rookie year. She told me like, well, you always want more money, you want to buy more stuff. And it's partly because we're around a lot of other successful people and they're, driving nice cars and everybody wants to have a nice life. Nobody can lie to me so they don't. So you see that a lot, but you also got to look at what are you doing with the money that you are making? Like, that's for everybody. Everybody's always talking about, I can't do this, I can't do that. But what are you doing with the money that you are making? So for me, I'm going to get a property this year and I'm going to start from there.
Got you. Say you want to bring us home with the last question?
Of course. We always end our episodes like this. But what advice would you give to an athlete that's watching this, who's nervous about, getting into business, having reservations about getting into business? What type of advice or what advice would you give them?
One, I would say vet all people. I'm talking about from financial advisors to real estate gurus. Ask them to see their portfolio, ask to see their numbers, ask to see who they've helped, and reach out to the people that they claim that they've helped, first and foremost. Two, knowledge. You need to read books, take a course, some type of way you need to go research what you're specifically trying to do. Right. Because you need to have more knowledge about it. You can't just walk in anything without knowing anything and expect, I don't expect for me to just give you the money and you just go get it and I just don't do nothing. That doesn't really do nothing for me. That's how I get scammed. That's how you get gypped. You need to know what's going on, because in order to have intellectual conversations and to get in front of people, you need to know what you're talking about. Right. So you do need to have that. You need to read, take a course, you need to learn something. And then 3, just have patience and time, because every deal is not going to be the right deal. It's not going to be a rush, and it may not just be the right time, but step by step, it'll happen. And then having just a plan, having like a couple goals, maybe not too many goals, but like, hey, say you want to start a clothing brand. Well, let's get with the idea first. Let's figure out who we can have design the idea, where we can get the quality from. Let's get the manufacturer. Let's do those 3 things. And then you go from let's build a website to this, that, and the third.
Which is interesting because most of the time it's flipped. Right. I need help with a logo on a website. And it's like, that's like further down the line.
That's stuff that you can do in a day. People can design a logo in a day.
Yeah.
You can make an LLC in a couple of hours. Zen Business, all these websites.
Yeah, you got to have a plan to execute.
You can open up my business bank account, the other day. It took me 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's stuff that can be done like that. But actually like knowing what to make, what to get into, that's the
and the reason behind it, like separating yourself from the business, because you're a high net worth individual. If you give someone a rash with your project or with your product or your clothes or whatever, and they come for you, they're coming for you. They're not coming for clothing brand LLC. So like you said, it takes an hour to do that type of stuff. Fill that out, grab an EIN. Now you have what you need for a business bank account. and provide some legal separation from your own bank account to whatever it is you're starting. Because like it's also important to underscore, like, it's not gonna, like, everything that you touch is not going to turn to gold.
It's not.
So there's going to be a learning curve. There's going to be a process, and you have to focus on like failing fast or figuring it out in the early stages to give yourself at least any trajectory.
A shot. To me, business is just about giving yourself the best shot. Yeah. Nothing that you do is going to be a home run. You would like it to be. Some people get lucky. But at the end of the day, I want to give myself the best shot I can at making this work. I know that properties, like, we could get this property and so we have vacancy for 2-3 months. That could happen. You never know. The market could crash. Our rate may be too high. Who knows? But I'm going to give myself the best shot in order to make it work. Yeah. And that only goes from knowing what to do or having the people that know what to do, having some knowledge on it. And then, you take a step further where, like mine, I'm going to put it in my LLC, get a living trust. Like, we're going to do it right.
Cool. Well, I think we got what we came for.
Yeah.
I'm excited to continue to build this relationship and see what all you guys cook up on the real estate end.
Roll to 100 properties. 100.
That's the goal. 100.
Back in the game, it's evident. I step in the room, I'm an elephant. Run up a bag, I ran up a bag. I gotta go count on some presidents. I'm back out the dirt, the sediment. Back with a baddie, she elegant. I'm back from the dead, Bitch, they call me the Revenant. Yeah, bitch, I'm 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 the Revenant. Yeah, ain't this shit evident? Yeah, bitch, I'm the Revenant. Yeah, back out the sediment. Yeah, bitch, I'm the Revenant. Oh shit, ain't that Lord Lost? That's that nigga from that rap shit. New air and my crown fitted, but I still ain't never on no cap shit. Been a captain of my own ship, back when I ain't have jack shit. Lighting verses since I burned this, got that Weezy F off of that piss. In the booth, I'm a mastiff, my skill set just massive. On my fourth quarter bronze shit, all my niggas hate when I be passive. Camera shy out in Cali, big life moment, couldn't even grasp it. All the stress took a toll, but when the credits roll, I'ma drop a classic. And my city got a blasted, gotta hear it from the rooftop. Flavor Flav, Big Daddy Kane, I'ma walk around with a jukebox. All the blood, sweat, and tears over all the years, but I found a new stock. All the blood, sweat, and tears made me